Hey everybody, welcome back to Blind Bag Bonanza featuring Star Wars Micro Machines. Star Wars is returning in the form of a new movie, The Force Awakens, and accompanying that is the return of Micro Machines, much to the horror of fans of walking around the house barefoot. If you've ever trod on one of these little blighters, you know what I mean. But before we tuck into those, I've also picked up these Star Wars trading cards by TOPPS. They also include cards from Star Wars The Force Awakens, as you can tell by the trio of characters on the right of the packaging. Then on the left, Yoda, Boba and Leia repping the original trilogy. And in fact, I picked up an additional 2 packs to represent all the varieties of packaging style that seem to be available. And looking at the packaging, the eagle-eyed among you will notice there's not a single prequel trilogy character in sight. Not that I mind, but with a new Star Wars movie coming out, it's almost like they don't want to remind us that 15 years ago we were also really excited for a new Star Wars movie, only to be bitterly disappointed. Let's take a look at the back here, and under this flap it says over 200 cards to collect, 8 cards per packet including 1 mirror foil card. Look out for special cards, blah blah blah. They're teasing us with super rare, rainbow and limited edition cards. Will we be lucky enough to get any of those? Only one way to find out, and that's by opening the packs, of course. Now if you've been around the block a time or two like me, then you might be old enough to remember when cards like these came with a cheap piece of gum that lost its flavour within 2 seconds of chewing it. Those were the days. First up from Empire, we have Han to be given to Boba Fett, or a Vader and Boba discussing the Force Awakens trailer, and Lando's like, "What do you mean I'm no longer the only black guy in the Star Wars galaxy?" Then from Return of the Jedi, Luke surrenders. Then sticking with Jedi, Boushh approaches Jabba's trophy. Sorry, I've got a dirty mind. I think by trophy they're not using it as a euphemism, they're referring to Han frozen in carbonite. Then a Princess Leia card. Ooh, shiny. And then our first The Force Awakens card with Kylo Ren. Nice. Then Vader, who we learnt from the Force Awakens trailer, Kylo Ren is finishing what he started, and then Han and Leia become closer. And as versed as C-3PO is in etiquette, he seems to be unaware that two's company. Then on the final card, Luke and R2-D2 arrive on Cloud City, of course, and then the card backs have a bit more story to them. Oh, let's see what's on the back of the Kylo Ren card. A Dark Warrior strong with the Force, Kylo Ren commands First Order missions with a temper as fiery as his unconventional lightsaber. Actually, that's exactly the same blurb that was on the packaging backs of both the Black and Elite series Kylo Ren action figures I reviewed, so it seems we won't be gleaning any new info from The Force Awakens from these cards. But nonetheless, let's move on to our second in this trilogy of trading card packs to see just what this one has in store for us. So we have Luke and Leia taking a wrong turn as they stare across a chasm in their escape. Spoiler, they swing across. And then Luke and gang hiding from the Empire. A scout trooper approaches the princess. The price of Chewbacca, which if you've seen the holiday special, I'd pay about 2 cents for him and all his family. And then, ooh, a shiny foil card bearing Rey from The Force Awakens. And the Force will be with you, always. And Han destroying an Imperial probe droid, and then the final one, the lightsaber duel. Which now brings us to our third and final pack, and if the other 2 are anything to go by, it seems the template is 7 original trilogy cards to the one The Force Awakens one. But what's this? It's a checklist. Strange, the other 2 packs didn't contain this. It lists all the original trilogy cards, and then let's flip it over, and it seems there are 15 The Force Awakens cards, and then it seems some of the rare mirror and rainbow foil cards also contain The Force Awakens characters. Interesting, but back to the cards themselves. There's Darth Vader doing that pull my finger while he lets out a fart gag with Princess Leia, and then the Max Rebo band, sadly no sea snootles to be seen, and Boba Fett, a mirror or rainbow card. I'm not sure which is which, but there's a shiny Chewbacca one too. There's Darth Vader searching the ship. And oh look, that stormtrooper's just bumped his head. Or is that urban legend? And here are Luke and Leia swinging across the chasm. I wish I hadn't spoiled that for you now. Han searches for Luke. Luke calls for Princess Leia. And probably calling collect because he's an infamous cheapskate. I kid, he's using the Force. So that's all those. Let me sort out all my foil cards so you can be in awe one last time of just how shiny they are. And no nuggets of new info on The Force Awakens, but do we really need it? I think Disney are doing a really good job of teasing yet not spoiling us. I only wish Disney would be that strategic with their Marvel movies. Their trailers and TV spots and whatnot spoiled Avengers Age of Ultron for me, and I don't need to see the new Spider-Man until my bum is sat on a seat at the cinema and I'm watching Captain America Civil War. So I've been wondering the difference between the mirror foil cards and the rainbow foil cards. It seems Chewbacca here, card number 201, is the rarest card I have here, as it's one of the rarer rainbow foil cards, whereas Leia, Rey and Boba are all mirror foil cards, which are one per pack. Now moving back to the Star Wars Micro Machines. This is Series 1, a trio of ships on the packaging there. On the reverse, just a warning and some more blah blah. Now I know from watching other YouTubers open these, yeah, other people do this too, but stick with me guys, that I know there's no leaflet inside showing us the varieties available. But for your viewing pleasure while in store, I did snap a picture of the box that these are contained in, which shows us the 12 varieties available, representing a good mix of the old and new. Now I have a confession to make. While I could probably name every alien that lurked the halls of Jabba's palace, when it comes to Star Wars ships, well, it's not my strongest suit. So opening these will be a true test of my knowledge, and feel free to help me out with any info I miss in the comments below. These do come with an easy to use tear strip, which is just as well as Mr. Snippety Snip is currently en route to Dagobah to complete his Jedi training. Or maybe he's buried under the action figure mess that is my life and I'm unable to find him. Now, in spite of all the unique shapes of the Star Wars ships, these ships in here are in a plastic case, which makes them much more grope proof, keeping the suspense going. This is just a legal leaflet, yep. So first up, from The Force Awakens, we have Rey atop her speeder, ready to travel the wastelands of Jakku, although she seems to have a reusable shopping bag strapped to the side, so maybe she's popped down the road to Tesco's to pick up a few bits. Cute little miniature though, seems to have a hole on the bottom here. I think you can plug that into the larger playsets that are available. Let's move Rey to one side and see what comes out of our second bag. Bum, 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 bum. Ooh, it's... Oh, hang on, I know what it is! Or do I? Now I risk making a fool of myself on YouTube, which, well, let's face it, wouldn't be the first time, but I'm pretty sure this is the Phantom from Star Wars Rebels. No, if I'm right, then it's weird coincidence, because I binge-watched that entire show this week to prep for a future Articulation Assembled podcast. Link to that in the description beneath this video. Here's a comparison with the Rey. She's a whopper compared to that, huh? She better not be getting any ideas about joining the Rebels, because if she does, it's going to be a tight fit in there with her and the gang. Moving on, and while I did say those plastic cases help keep an element of surprise, here, judging by the shape, this could only be a TIE fighter in here, but let's open it up to see, one, if I'm right, or two, if I'm about to make a big fool of myself by getting it wrong. Phew, I'm right. Well, this plastic case might not disguise what it is, but at least it prevents the wings from getting warped in the package. If you recall the box that I showed earlier, that pictured 2 TIE fighters, each with a different deco. Now it's going to take a bigger Star Wars ship expert than I to place just which one this is. Moving on to blind bag number 4, and hopefully it's a clean run with no doubles. Cross your fingers, or more appropriately, may the Force be with us. This one's an X-Wing, nice. Now, as with the TIE Fighter, there are a number of X-Wings in this series, but to my eye, this one's pretty classic looking. Dare I say Luke's X-Wing from A New Hope, correct me if I'm wrong. So here are all 4 fruits of those blind bags assembled together, a great mix of both designs and eras. Initially, I didn't notice this at first, but Rey's speeder is heavier in the front so that it balances so that she stays elevated on the rear there, which is cool. You may remember from a few episodes back, the last time I dipped my toes into Hasbro's Blind Bag waters was with their Marvel 500 series, and these, I can say, both in terms of sculpt and deco, are far superior to those, so get a wholehearted recommend from me. Anyway, click this video if you missed the previous episode, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye.